everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Today's video is called Virtual Field Trips with Josh. We are going to be taking a trip to Tokyo, Japan, learning a little bit about the Japanese culture and some different things they have over there. As always, this is brought to you by Center for Success. I hope you enjoy it, and let's go ahead and take our trip.
This is the story of Tokyo, Japan. Japan consists of 4 major islands. Today, our focus is on the island of Honshu, where the great city of Tokyo is located. Tokyo is the capital city of Japan, a country in Far East Asia. It is famous for its large population, efficient and public transportation system, beautiful city parks, and countless historical buildings. Included in this list of what makes Tokyo one of the great cities of the world would be that it is a peaceful and safe place where honor and respect is shown to each other. Tokyo is a city of strong comparisons and contrasts. It is a metropolis where over 13 million people live, and in the entire Tokyo metropolitan area live nearly 35 million. This makes Tokyo the largest metropolitan area in the world. Yet, if you were a visitor and looked lost, a Japanese person would ask you if he or she might take you to where you want to go, even if that meant going in the opposite direction. Tokyo is an extremely modern city with bright neon signs. Yet, it is proud of its ancient heritage, dating back more than 2,000 years. Tokyo is a crowded city. So crowded that at one time you needed to prove that you had a parking spot before being allowed to get a driver's license. Yet, with all the cars and rapid subway and train activity, Tokyo is full of quiet back streets and open spaced parks and flower gardens for all to enjoy. Another contrast or comparison unique to Tokyo is how the city looks from building to building. As you may know, the US and Japan have been good friends since the end of World War II. The US helped to rebuild the city of Tokyo after our military forces bombed many parts. Because the city of Tokyo needed to rebuild so quickly, you might see an office building, even a department store, just next door to a house. Compare this to normal city zoning and planning. Imperial Palace. First, let's visit Japan's historical Imperial Palace, located in the Central District. Kokyo, the Japanese term for the imperial residence, is the home of the emperor. The original palace, called Edo Castle, dates back to the 16th century. The castle town of Edo is what we now call Tokyo. Ancient Edo town fast became one of the world's most populated cities, just like modern Tokyo still is today, 400 years later. During the Meiji era of the 1800s, most of the Edo castle structures were either cleared away or were destroyed by earthquakes and subsequent fires. The rebuilt Imperial Palace was constructed of wood. But the Nijubashi, or double wooden bridges over the moat, were replaced with iron and stone bridges. During a visit to the Imperial Palace grounds, you may walk around the East Imperial Gardens, which are open to the public, remembering you are walking on land that has been populated by the Japanese rulers and their families for over 400 years. The large park-like setting of the Imperial Palace is located close to our next stop on this tour, the Tokyo Station. Still in central Tokyo, from its railroad and subway tracks extend throughout every quadrant of the city. Over 3,000 trains per day make Tokyo Station the busiest train station in all of Japan. The Shinkansen high-speed rail lines leaves Tokyo Station to most major cities on the island of Honshu and Kyushu. Someday soon, the Shinkansen will also travel to the northern island of Hokkaido. The Shinkansen has been called the bullet train because it is said to travel as fast as a bullet. It is famous for its speed of up to 200 miles an hour. You can travel from Tokyo Station to your destination in a very short amount of time. The Tokaido Shinkansen was completed in time for the first Tokyo Olympics in 1964. It is not only Japan's fastest train, but also the world's busiest high-speed rail line. You can hop on a regular intercity commuter train or subway, which leaves Tokyo Station every few minutes, every day, all day long, and into the night. As a visitor or resident of Tokyo, there is no need to drive a car when the above-ground train takes you close to your destination. At rush hour, either early in the morning when people are going to work or coming home from their jobs in the evening, the trains are extremely crowded. There are even train officials that help push the last few people into the train car before the doors close and switches away from the station. You can buy snacks such as mandarin oranges just outside your train, located on the train platform. Tokyo Station has many platforms. You travel up and downstairs to get from one platform to another. Hurry before your train leaves. Even on the most crowded commuter train, where most people must stand, it is as quiet as a library. Peace, even here. Next, let's visit the most famous shopping district of Tokyo called the Ginza. In the district center, 1 square meter of land is worth over 10 million yen. That makes the Ginza district one of the most expensive pieces of land in all of Japan. Here, you can even pay $10 for a cup of coffee. Ginza means silver mint in Japanese. The name comes from its history of being the site of the silver coin mint. After the Great Earthquake of 1923, the Ginza then developed into the upscale shopping district you see today. This building, called the Ginza Wako, is a symbol of the shopping district. It was built in 1932 following the Great Earthquake. It is a clock tower where one can buy fancy luxury items like jewelry. You probably know the name Sony. Well, the famous Sony building is also in the Ginza. You can shop for the latest electronic products by Sony. Maybe a new phone, camera, or television. How about a Sony PlayStation? You'll find it all on display here. Two of the most famous department stores found in the Ginza shopping district start with the letter M. There's the Matsuya department store and the historic Mitsukoshi department store. The Mitsukoshi store, with its 12 floors full of goods and services, dates back to post-Great Earthquake and was opened in 1930. The original Mitsukoshi's history dates back all the way to the year of 1673. And speaking of great history, our next stop on today's field trip is the Kabuki Theater, also in the Ginza district. This is where Kabuki plays are performed live almost every day. Kabuki theater is one of 3 types of classical Japanese theater and is a UNESCO intangible cultural heritage. While watching a Kabuki play, you see fantastic traditional Japanese costumes, fancy wigs and makeup, and extremely expressive actions by the actors. You hear live traditional Japanese music to match the acting. The instruments and sounds will not be recognizable to our ears, but are very traditional. 2 more interesting things to know while watching a Kabuki play. 1 are that all character parts in the play, male and female, are only played by men. This tradition dates back to the Edo period when only women were the actors. The second thing to listen for is someone, usually sitting in the upper back part of the audience, yelling out one of the actors' name. Don't be shocked when you hear this. In Tokyo, Japan, during a Kabuki play, this is not rude, but just the reverse. It shows a sign of respect and appreciation for the actor. Let's end our field trip of Tokyo by visiting the Tokyo Tower, which is 1,092 feet tall, 42 feet taller than the Eiffel Tower in Paris, France, which you may have visited on the Paris virtual field trip. The tower is lit in orange floodlights in winter and incandescent white lights in summer. On a clear day in Tokyo, especially after a typhoon has passed through, that's a heavy rainstorm with strong winds, you can see a panoramic view of the city and of Mount Fuji from the main and special observatory levels. Also, you can see Tsukiji Fish Market, where huge frozen tuna slide across the fish market floor on their way to transport. See also Shinjuku Gardens, where the famous Japanese cherry blossoms bloom each spring, and Meiji Jingu, or in English, Meiji Shrine and Yoyogi Park. Is another great place to visit a large forested park within the busy city of Tokyo. Let's end with a visit to Asakusa Kannon Temple, also called Sensoji in Japanese. It is the oldest temple in all of Tokyo, dating back to the 7th century. It's where you can walk under the giant red lantern and onto the old street leading up to the temple. It feels like you're really experiencing ancient Tokyo, Japan. You might even watch the white crane dance performed in front of the Asakusa Canyon Temple a real treat, ending in peace and harmony with nature. I hope you enjoyed your visit to the great city of Tokyo. I invite you to come and visit again soon. Thank you. ありがとうございました。こんにちは and こんばんは。
Thank you for joining us today. We love learning about new cultures and different things around the world, especially when we don't get to go there. We can see how different things are in different places in the world. So we love having you with us, and we enjoy spending this new form of community with you. We hope that you will join us next time, where we will go somewhere else in the world, and we will see you then. Thanks.